8 biggest signs a guy isn't interested in you anymore. Let's talk about when a guy isn't interested in you anymore. This one really stings, and if you're in this situation, I feel for you. Let's start at the beginning. It seemed to be going so well. He was obviously crazy about you and everything just felt right. Then something shifted, his behavior changed and you don't know why. Maybe this happened after going out on a few dates, maybe after a period of flirting where you felt sure this was building up to something, but then it just didn't. Maybe he's just busy with work or school or dealing with personal issues or needs some space because you've been spending all your time together. You're not sure if you're just being insecure or if he really just isn't interested in you anymore. How can you tell the difference? It's really not that hard. If he's losing interest, you'll notice some of the following 8 signs. 1. You feel it in your gut. Something just doesn't feel right. You feel insecure and unsure of yourself, and that's not typically like you. You question his motives. If you're wondering and analyzing and asking your friends for their opinions about his behavior, it's a good sign your gut is telling you he's losing interest. When a man likes you, it's obvious. If you have to ask yourself whether or not he still likes you, the answer is probably no. The exception to this is if you know you're insecure by nature and expect a man you're dating to lose interest. This can be heavily influenced by previous relationships, or the result of low self-esteem. If this is the case, you may be seeing signs that aren't there and your gut might not be completely reliable. If you know this is the case, still listen to your gut but take it with a grain of salt and make sure to pay extra attention to the following 7 signs. 2. He's just not as interested in what you have to say. He used to pay attention when you talked and remember the small details, but now it's like his eyes glaze over when you're talking and later he'll blank out on conversations you know you had with him. A guy who's interested will pay close attention to what you say and will remember what's important to you. When we like someone, we gobble up everything they say. We can't get enough, we want to hear everything, even the most inane details. If a guy isn't interested anymore, he won't ask you as many questions and won't try to engage in meaningful conversations. When a guy likes you, he wants to discover the real you and connect with you on a deep level. 3. He doesn't initiate. Are you always the one reaching out? Did he used to make plans or make sure to get you locked down for Friday night, but now if you want to see him you're always the one who has to contact him first? This is a huge sign he's losing interest. If a man is into you, he will make time for you. That means he's not going to leave it to chance or leave it to you to make it happen. And he will stay in touch with you. He isn't just going to sit back and wait for you to come to him. When a guy isn't interested anymore, you'll notice a dramatic decrease in the amount of calls and texts from him. When we like someone, we want to keep in contact. When a guy likes you, he's always thinking about you, and that's why he reaches you. He'll send you funny memes or interesting articles. Him staying in touch is also a way to keep himself on your mind. However, it is important to note that as a relationship gets more settled, you probably won't engage in all-day texting marathons because that isn't sustainable, so look at this in the context of the other signs. 4. He doesn't prioritize you. All of a sudden he's busy with work, he has to catch up with a friend, he has to go to the gym, something is always more important than you. When you first started dating, if you made plans it was basically set in stone. Now he's started canceling on you more and more, and the excuses are getting flimsier and flimsier. Every now and then stuff comes up, and we all have to cancel on friends and loved ones. Life happens. But how often is this happening? It needs to be the exception, not the rule. When a guy likes a girl, he won't flake unless he has a really good reason. If it feels like he's canceling on you because something better came up, it's a definite sign he's losing interest. If a guy likes a girl, he would never risk this because he doesn't want to lose her. If a guy is indifferent toward you, then he won't care about the consequences of canceling last minute. 5. You're the only one putting in any effort. You feel like if you stopped putting in the effort, you would never see him again. You're always reaching out first, you're always initiating plans. He may respond to your messages and may agree to hang out, but he isn't proactive at all when it comes to you. If you stopped reaching out to him, you would basically never hear from him. A good litmus test for this is to look at the way he was at the beginning of the relationship and compare that to how he's acting now. The shift will be more dramatic than just settling into relationship normalcy. 6. He's spending a lot less time with you. He used to save the weekends for you, but now he always has something going on. Keep in mind that things can be really hot and heavy at the beginning, but as time goes on it's probably natural for him to start to back off a tiny bit in terms of how much time you're spending together. He'll start to miss his friends and want to hang out with the guys sometimes. This is healthy. Don't panic if he occasionally wants to do something else on the weekends when up until that point you'd been spending every weekend together. It's usually not sustainable or healthy for a couple to spend every minute together, even when they're crazy about each other. But if you feel like he's spending considerably less time with you and it's bothering you, this could be a sign he's losing interest. 7. He cuts your time together short. He's still spending time with you and taking you on dates, but he's always ready to end the evening. A man who's crazy about you isn't going to want to get home early, or plan other things that mean you spend a short amount of time together and then he has to get to something else. And a man who's interested isn't going to say he can't when you invite him in after a nice dinner together because he has to get to work early in the morning. As I said, there are always exceptions. You need to listen to your gut. If everything else feels right and he's been working really hard and is exhausted, then sure, he may not want to come in one night. But if something feels off and it's becoming a habit and there's no end in sight, he might be losing interest. 8. His body language changes. When someone likes you, it's written all over them, from their eyes to the way they angle their feet. A guy's mannerisms around a woman he likes are different. He stares at her, he leans in, he angles his body facing directly in front of her, he may get a little shifty due to nervous energy. If he's no longer doing these things, and instead, he doesn't make eye contact, doesn't stare at you, turns his body away from you, is tense around you, doesn't sit close to you, then it means he's losing interest in you. Another sign is he doesn't flirt with you. He just kind of treats you the same as everyone else. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe button, and leave a comment below this video to let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, please drop me a comment below or send me an email by clicking the link below in the description, and I will be able to respond back to you as soon as possible. To learn more about what to say and how to start and the right words to use in the process of getting a boyfriend, just click the link below in the description below this video and I would love to help you. So, go ahead and do it now.